This is going to be a review of Notary Gadget, really a walkthrough, and I'm going to show you how it is to sign up, what I use it for, how I use it, and how it can help your business. So for me, Notary Gadget is integral to the business. My business does not run without Notary Gadget. I'll pay for Notary Gadget before I pay for food, okay? So let's just get right to it. So as you can see on the homepage, Notary Gadget is used by tens of thousands of notaries, 5.4 million signings, and counting. So all the stuff that Notary Gadget is good for is accounting, invoicing, calendaring, taxes, appointments, tracking mileage, tracking notarial acts, tracking expenses, tracking payments, and your electronic journal, which I feel like if your state accepts it, it would be a great thing to incorporate in your business. If we scroll, you'll see manage your notary jobs like a pro, advanced automation that saves you a ton of time. Now, if you've been watching my content recently, you know I suffered from burnout really bad this year, and I've learned that automation is your best friend, okay? Anything that you can take off your plate or get somebody else to do, it doesn't even have to be an assistant you hire, even though I did. You can hire your little cousin or something to just kind of run Notary Gadget for you. It will save you a ton of time and headache, because when you get a lot of signings going and you're on the go, it's just too much in your head that you don't need as the top business owner, as the CEO. Save thousands on your taxes. I'll show you where they kind of teach you how to save more money on your taxes, and notaries have special things that they can write off that most other businesses cannot. Ditch the shoebox. Please excuse my stomach, I'm fasting, so if you hear it, ignore it, okay? You'll basically be able to upload your receipts and stuff to Notary Gadget to keep track of your expenses. Loaded with automation that saves you time and money. Import orders, mileage, appointment reminders, calendars, automatic invoices, email templates, taxes, devices, a mobile app, etc. Here you see it's recommended by the NNA, the loan signing system, Notary Jane, NPM, basically just all of these recommend Notary Gadget because it is amazing. Oof, my picture almost fell. Okay, so let's talk about the pricing. So it's free, 100% free. You don't even have to give your credit card info for your first 15 signings. So your free trial is your first 15 signings. It's not like a week or two, it's for your first 15 signings. What I really love about this is I feel like they understand the space enough to know that this is worthless if you're not doing any signings. So they let you get 15 signings under your belt. You kind of see how it goes. You kind of get to play with it. And then they start charging you, which is super fair. And it's already super cheap. You get charged $8.29 per month if you're billed annually, or $9.95 per month billed monthly. So of course, here's your sign up page for the free trial. Again, your first 15 signings are 100% free, regardless of how long it takes you. You're gonna put your email, you're gonna make a password, your first name, last name, your address. Now your address is important because when it helps you with mileage, it's gonna go from your address to the signing location. So put your home address here, your phone so they can send you notifications, and how'd you hear about us? And of course, agreeing to the terms of service. I'm gonna create my free account and then we're gonna get back to it. Okay, so I did not show you the activation email and all of that, but they're going to send you an email, you activate it, super easy. So now when you log in, you'll see welcome to Notary Gadget. Thank you for taking the time to give us a try. They give you a quick tutorial. So you see welcome to the home page. It gives you a quick summary of your finances, any outstanding signing tasks that need to be completed. I'm going to put in practice signings just so you'll be good to go. Okay, so this is the home page for Notary Gadget when you get a fresh new profile. And as you can see, we're on the trial. So your trial period expires in 15 signings, or you can just click here to subscribe. I'll click it. You have the options right here. You even have a 3-year option. 1 year is $99.95, or hop to the subscription, which is $9.95 per month. But we're not doing that right now. When we start inputting things, you'll actually see things pop up here, and I'm going to show you how that works after I start inputting some signings. On the home page, you see upcoming signings, unsent invoices, mileage, notarial acts, signings, I'm actually just going to show you what it's like after you've put some signings in. If you're going to input a signing, there's 2 ways you can do it. One, you go to the signings tab, you hit new signing. They even have a video here that will pop up. So Notary Gadget is very helpful. It is actually a 5-minute video, but we are watching my video. So get out of here. So the customer, you could put in a new customer. So what I do is when I get a signing from either SnapDocs or just a direct client I have, I will put them in as a new customer. So let's say I'm working for ABC Title Company. I could write their business address if I want, but really all I put is this. That's kind of it. Or so I have a title company that I work with that pays me $150 across the board, whether it's a refi, whether it's a purchase, whether it's a seller, whether it's anything. If I do anything for them, they pay me $150. So when there's somebody like that, I'll put the default signing fee at $150, and default notarial acts per signing, that is like if they typically have 10 or they always have 10, you would put 10 here, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to just say ABC Title Company pays me $150 per appointment, and I would save that. So anytime you're going to do a signing, we can cancel, new signing, and I could just hit customer, ABC Title Company. So that pops up, and you also see automatically the 150 fee pops up. So you wouldn't have to put that in, which makes things a little easier, especially if you hire an assistant. Once these things are plugged in, the odds of them making a mistake is slim. So you put the signer's first name, let's just say it's Mark, and the last name is Gene, because what a great last name that is. Company is for if it's like an LLC doing the signing, right? Not the title company that you're working for. That's like if the person is like an investor and they're buying the property on behalf of their investment. But we're not putting that there. Phone numbers, 555-555-5555. Email address, whatever their email address is. If they don't have an email address, cool. What I'm really worried about is the phone numbers, because when it pops up on your Google Calendar, you'll be able to have that info on your calendar app and you'll be able to call them very easily on your phone. So it auto-populates addresses here. So whenever you have the address, you start typing it out and it will pop up, which makes it very easy. Now, let's say they are in apartment 123. You could put IAPT 123, or let's say there's special instructions where it's like the gate code is 12345. I think you catch my drift. It'll pop up on your calendar on your phone with the special instructions as well. So the signing date and time, let's say it's for tomorrow, December 20th at 10 a.m. And I leave 1 hour. I leave 1 hour because that just leaves time for the signer to ask questions. It gives cushion. It makes sure that you do not have too many signings bunched up against each other. And then, of course, add to my Google Calendar. You would have to grant it permission. I'm not going to do it here. And add to my phone calendar or calendar via email. That was where they would send you an email. But I do add to my Google Calendar. You would grant the permission and it will automatically happen that way. I prefer it that way. My Google Calendar sends me reminders. I'm able to check my schedule versus, like, let's say I have a doctor appointment. If it's not on my schedule, it doesn't exist. I schedule everything. I recommend you do too. And then order/escrow number. This is important because if you know it, you'll be able to track your signings a lot easier, especially if people forget to pay you, which happens. So you will put the order/escrow number here, which whoever gave you the signing will have it. If it's on SnapDocs, you can see it. If a title company sends you the signing, you can see it. And if you get the documents, you'll be able to see it on the documents as well. And the tracking number is like, if you sent it through FedEx, you can put the tracking number here, and that way you'll know the tracking number for this package, and that would help you with tracking in case anything ever happens. You can save here, or you can save and add another if you had another signing to do. I'm just gonna save. So here, this is the signing summary page. Okay, so as you can see, the special instructions, apartment 123, gate code is 12345. So now here, you see the signing date is tomorrow at what time it is. You'll also see that in your Google Calendar. You see where it is, you can map it, you see the customer. Let's say you go to this later on and you want to edit it, you can quickly add an order and escrow number and stuff like that, and it'll just pop up. Now, let's say it gets canceled. You can mark it as canceled. Changing the status to cancel, remove this signing from your list of active signings, but it will still keep any financial information you've entered, like if you traveled or your notary fees or payments received, etc. You can do more. You can delete the signing. That way, you just delete it. Anything else you inputted is all gone. Or if it's on hold, you can say it's on hold. And if they're going to make you do the signing another day, you can just unhold it. Now, you see total amount unpaid. Like, let's say you had a bunch of closings from a bunch of months. They will show you the total closings that have been unpaid, so you know who to send invoices to. If you go to calendar view, you can see it in the calendar setting. So you'll be able to see the closing for tomorrow at 10 a.m. for December 2023. Now, if you go home, you have a signing. And in the regular view, the number of signings, you see you have one signing. You can also look at the $ per signing, and you'll see it's 150. I know you've probably seen this on other people's content. Notary Gadget is what most people use to show you how much they made that month or how many signings they did, and I also use Notary Gadget for such. I'm gonna go to the calendar view instead so you can see how that works. So let's say I had a signing on the 18th. I'll just click that, new signing, same thing. Let's say it was for the same company. Actually, let's put a new customer. Let's say the signing was for CBA title company, and I would save that. Let's say they don't have a default signing fee. I just say, so now CBA title fee, ABC, BVB, phone number 444-444-4444. As you can see, since I clicked it on the calendar, this is already filled in. So I kind of like putting things in through the calendar view better. And then we're going to do it for 2:30 p.m., still 1 hour. And now, because that company didn't automatically have a signing fee because I didn't input that, I'll put the signing fee as like also 150. I'll just do it manually. And the escrow number is 111-1211-11. Save. Oh, and then the address, you save it. Now you see all the info is here, the order and escrow number, etc. You exit it, and now you have a signing for yesterday, a signing for tomorrow. Now look though, here you see unsent invoices is 1, mileage not entered is 1, notarial acts not entered is 1 because you had a signing yesterday. They do not count it for the signing that's tomorrow because it didn't happen yet. So this doesn't matter to them. But if the signing passed, now you see all this stuff. And then you see you have one upcoming signing because we have that signing tomorrow. Also, you see unpaid signings for 0 to 30 days. And you see there's 1 because we did 1 yesterday. However, there's not 2 because we didn't do the 1 tomorrow. So it's not an unpaid signing. Now, a lot of businesses, title companies, and signing services alike pay you net 30. Net 30 means they pay you for 30 days worth of signings. So it's not like bi-weekly. They pay you once a month for the 30 days prior. Unpaid signings, 31 to 60 days. This is the ones you would really look at because why haven't you paid me in 30 days, right? 0 through 30, but 31 through 60, that's when you should get nervous. And 60 plus days, there's definitely a problem. Now, you see, here does not discriminate. If this has a signing tomorrow, if it has a signing next week, if it had a signing yesterday, it's going to say there's 2 signings this month worth $300 with a profit of $300 because you have not logged any expenses yet, and your average profit is $150. Since we did 2 signings, both were $150. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I have to explain that. Go to the signings view. Now you see you had that signing yesterday. Here's the order and escrow number right here. This is invoice number 2 because it's your second signing. Now you have the option. You can email an invoice. You can enter your mileage. The signing location was here. Home to signing one way, 11 miles, 20 minutes. Or if you went to the signing and came back home, you could use this for a round trip. Now, remember when you were signing up, I had you use your home address. This is why, so it knows how to calculate the mileage. Now let's say you did a round trip. You just click use, 21 miles, tax deducted, $13.76, and you save that. Now look at your average profit. It's different because we've logged mileage now, and mileage is deducted, which makes this very easy for tax purposes. Now, I don't use Notary Gadget for my mileage tracking. I use an app called Mile IQ because if you go to FedEx after, that's write-offable, and it's just difficult to input all of that into Notary Gadget. So I like to do it all on the Mile IQ app because they just make it so easy to do. Now, your trial period expires in 14 signings because you had a signing yesterday. You get me? But it doesn't say 13 because you have not done that signing for tomorrow. Now you go back to signings and you can enter your notarial act. Now, let's say you stamped 6 times, you did 6 notarial acts, and let's say your state lets you charge $4 per act, $24. It automatically logs it. Would you like to use $4 as the default amount per notarial act on future signings? I would say yes, because all I do is loan closings and it's $4 per stamp as my state rule. Go home again, everything's here. Now you see you have 1 unsent invoice because of that closing. Don't let this freak you out until you reach that 30 plus days. And that's when you should really start worrying about invoices. But whoever you're working with typically tells you the payment term. Now, let's say you took advantage of my 70 signing services list and you've already done some signings before you've created your Notary Gadget and you want to import those signings to here. So now you have an import option under the signings tab. You have an import option. I'm not going to lie, you'll have to watch these and read these because they just explain it way better than I can. But basically, you can take all the orders you've done from SnapDocs or whatever other signing service you're using and import it to Notary Gadget easily. And then you can also set it up so that the emails that they give you when a confirmation order is received go straight to Notary Gadget. So you can import old orders. You have to be a paying user for this service, so I'm not going to do that here. And you must enter all of your old customer into Notary Gadget before downloading the spreadsheet. They have a video that will, of course, explain it way better than I can. So I'm going to let you go through that. And they support a ton of other platforms. I am mainly on SnapDocs, so I would upload from SnapDocs, which they support. And they also show here unsupported platforms like Central Signing Services, Pavaso, Qualia, Solidify, etc. So those you would have to do manually in the way that I just showed you. So let's say you have a client who tells you to send them an invoice, right? Make sure you have the order number. Please just do your best to get the order numbers for all the closings you do. Just take my word on it. You will click the invoice button. As you can see, you have options. You can edit the invoice. So the description, the amount, I don't play with that really. You can enter payments. You can generate a PDF. It's a PDF. You can download it. You can email it to them that way, or you can email an invoice. You also have the option to send a combined invoice, and you can boom, 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 create invoice. And there it is there, and you'll be able to generate a PDF. You can email it to someone specific, etc. Let's say you did a bunch of closings. Let's say this was just a full page of closings, and you only want to see your closings for ABC Title Company so you can send them an invoice. Up here, you can go to all customers, you click ABC Title Company, and you could use the unpaid or has alert. So you can see has alert basically means you didn't log the mileage or something, or unpaid all. I click unpaid all, and you'll be able to see all the invoices you have for that client, and you'll be able to do a combined invoice. Click all of them, combine invoice, you can select all of them, and then you'll be able to send an invoice for all of your closings that you've done that haven't been paid. Let's say you have a company that doesn't have you send them invoices, or even if they do, look, let's say you want to enter payments, basically. You want to let Notary Gadget know that these people have paid you. So now you want to enter payments, and you can select it this way, and you could just use balance if they paid you the full amount. You put save payments. Boom. Now when you look at signings, you see that this was paid by ABC Title Company. So now you see this signing paid is this signing is paid. Now you have a signing for tomorrow. It still lets you say that it was paid. So please pay attention to where you do things so you don't make mistakes and accidentally click something that you shouldn't be clicking. Okay, double check everything. Okay, so here you go to expenses, and this is where the accounting happens. Now, accounting could be a whole video on its own. Like, accounting is where a lot of people fall short. I have fell short before and realized I've overpaid on my taxes, and it's been a learning curve. Okay, you can click new expense, important video about expenses. I highly recommend you watch it. So you can say the date of the expense, the category of the expense, accounting fees, advertising, banking fees, etc., even parking and tolls. Or you can create a new category. It's an expense. Excuse my stomach again, I'm fasting. But the category name could be like education. Let's say you pay for a lot of courses, education. And then you write the amount of whatever you paid. Let's say you paid $100, who the vendor is. Let's say you paid Veteran Notary Services, some notes about it, and you can add a photo of the receipt. And then you can save and add something similar or just save. Now go home again. The expenses get logged here. So your profit is now different again. And your average profit is different based on the expenses you put in, the mileage, etc. Okay, I hope you're grasping that. And then you see the expenses here. So as you put your expenses in, really try to keep track of that. Again, get an assistant or get your child or get your cousin to do it and just have somebody log these as you get the receipts. What I do, I get my receipts, I send a picture to my cousin, and he puts it in. Simple. So you can do new incomes. Payment received for signing should be entered on the signings page under each signing. This window is used to enter general income that is not tied to a specific signing. So again, if you're just doing a bunch of different things and you want to enter them here, that way you can. It's just trying to make sure it gives you the option of using it as like a full accounting software, basically. So you can do recurring transactions. Let's say a new recurring transaction. Let's say it's monthly. You get charged on the first of the month for $9.95. The category, let's say it's new category. Let's say you're paying for software. And the vendor is Notary Gadget. You're paying $9.95 a month for Notary Gadget. The start date, 19th. We're just gonna say you get charged every month on the 19th. So you just save it. This transaction will be added on the following dates. Right now, it will also be added monthly based on the schedule you selected. And now, every month on the 19th, Notary Gadget will automatically be an expense that is logged into your expenses. So the things that are automatic can be automatic. If you know you're going to have an expense every single month that is a write-off, you will put it for as something you pay every single month. Just make that one time instead of every month trying to input Notary Gadget. Every time you get charged for Notary Gadget, it's going to drive you crazy. It drove me crazy. Please don't get driven crazy. You can edit categories, so you can see that you've got something for education. You can make a new category. You can search things, search all transactions for Notary, search, you see Notary Gadget, easy. Okay, so here is the customers section. This is basically like a CRM kind of. You see the customers that we already added, plus general notary work is here just so it's like notary work that's not tied to a specific client. Loan signings, the title company repeatedly gives you closing. However, with general notary work, sometimes you just meet somebody randomly or somebody calls you and they're like, hey, I just need this. It's not necessarily somebody you would need to be a repeated kind of thing. That's how I basically grasp it. And this will just help you see who's paying you and how much. So what I like to do is every 30 days or every quarter, I hop into the customers list and I just see where is a lot of my money, like who is paying me a lot. So if I'm ever in a position where it's like I have to play favorites, you pay favorites to the ones who pay you the most, of course. That's how I do it. You can do it different. That's how I do it. Okay, now let's get to the sexy stuff, the report. So here's how everything that you've done here comes together. So you can easily make a profit and loss report for a generated date range of 2023. So if you're trying to do your 2023 taxes, you just hit generate report. It shows you had signings worth $300. Your total expenses were $123.71. Your expenses were on education and your mileage and the software you paid for. So imagine the whole year would be here and you'll be able to see everything. And then the net income, portion of net income from Notary Public fees, see note below. This is the portion of your net income that is not subject to self-employment tax. See IRS publication 334 for Notary Public. Portion of net income subject to self-employment tax is $152.29. And the amount you saved on your taxes by using Notary Gadget is $3.67. The amount saved on my taxes. This is the amount of self-employment tax you would have had to pay if you had not tracked your signings with Notary Gadget. This is calculated by multiplying the 15.3% times the portion of your net income from Notary Public fees. Here, portion of net income subject to self-employment tax and how it works. The first thing to understand is that all your net income is subject to federal and state income taxes. I'm gonna let you read all of this instead of boring you to death on this video. But I did want you to see the part of here's where it gets good for notaries. There's a little known piece of tax code that states that the notarial fees are not subject to self-employment tax, which means a portion of your net income that you earn from notarial fees, example, everything that you stamped, is not subject to the 15.3 self-employment tax. That is why it's extremely important that you track your notarial acts on every signing. So the line item, portion of net income subject to self-employment tax on the profit and loss report shows you how much of your profit will be subject to self-employment tax. Now, the next report is your sales report. Let's say you want to see one customer, ABC Title Company, for the year 2023. Generate a report. We haven't completed that one signing, so it literally will not put it on all of this stuff because we didn't do it. It's for tomorrow. But total sales 150, it just kind of logs it as if you've done it. It's assuming it won't get canceled. But let's do a sales report for CBA Title Company. You did do a closing for them. They did have mileage expenses. They did have your average profit per signing. So let's say you've done a bunch of signings with this company this year. It will show how much you've paid, how many expenses you had for that signing, like the notarial acts, the average mileage, the average time they take to pay you. So really try to log when people pay you. So Notary Gadget can tell you how often do they pay you? Are they ever late? Are they taking forever? Because some companies repeatedly take forever to pay you. And you do need to be aware of that when you're making big decisions on who is on the list of clients you have that deserve the most focus and clients you have that you may have to fire later. Like you might not like working with them, or they might not give you enough signings, or they give you a lot of signings, but they pay you late. It really helps you gauge that. So it shows you signing per month, even though we had one per December, but if you had the whole year, it will kind of show you all of that. It even has the list of signings you've done for them. Like Notary Gadget is actually quite robust. Sorry guys, my computer died. But yeah, Notary Gadget is actually quite robust, okay? It gives you a lot of stuff if you just know how to use it properly. So here, you're gonna see the mileage report. Again, I don't personally use Notary Gadget's mileage report, but if you had a year worth of signings, it would have shown you how many signings you did for the year and how much that was for a write-off for the year. So there's that. But I use MileIQ to track all my mileage because it is a lot easier to track your business mileage with MileIQ. And it's an app you can find on the App Store. I might leave a link to it in the description, I don't know. Then you got the 1099 payments received report. So the 1099 report gives you a breakdown of all the payments you received in any given year. This can be used to verify that the amount on the 1099 your customer sends you matches the payments you've entered into Notary Gadget. So of course, at the end of the year, all the title companies you've worked with that you've made at least $600 with will send you a 1099. So you'll be able to compare it. CBA Title Company, generate report, you see right here. 1099 report questions, there's a video. Notary Gadget is helpful. Use the videos. And then journal report, if you're using Notary Gadget as your journal. The journal report is part of Notary Gadget's electronic journal add-on option that replaces the need for a paper journal. And now this is only if your state accepts that. If your state does not accept electronic journal entries, you cannot use this. It's 100% free to try for 15 journal entries, and then it's $295 a month or $29.95 a year after that, which I personally think is worth it. Don't worry, it doesn't automatically get added to your subscription. The system will prompt you to add it to your subscription when you enter your 16th journal entry. Important, make sure you're aware of the requirements and or allowed use of electronic journal in your state, like I said. Here, they have you check that you have confirmed your state allows the use of an electronic journal, okay? Okay. Now, whether you're a brand new signing agent or you've been a signing agent for a little bit now, if you don't have Notary Gadget, get Notary Gadget. The link will be in the comment below. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. That's what all the other YouTubers say, man.